In this video, I'm going to show you how to prepare to make pants rubber. Okay, so as a requirement, what you need to have is you should have a waistband, and then you should have this pocket. Actually, my pants has two type of pockets. So I have this pocket, and then this bounce, weighted pocket here, and then darts. So it has actually back piece. There is a dart. Okay, so waistband, pocket, and the darts. So that's the requirement. Other than that, you can pick any pants. And I recommend you may use your wool, pants to trace, because the last project that we're gonna work on is going to be the suiting. So you can kind of understand the wool pants construction by tracing patterns. So I recommend that. Okay. So to prepare, same thing with your shirt rubber project, you will need to press really well, and then you need to press on the seam. Okay, so I press on this seam, and then I press this side. After I matching this seam here, I press this side as well. And as you see, front piece, you can trace as it is, but the back piece, because of this part, you have to trace one side and then mirror to the other side. So when you need to mirror, you always need to put the guideline, and then that's where you need to mark with colored thread to do the marking. Okay, so I put the guideline here with the colored thread like that. So to trace front piece, I will not really use this colored guideline, but when we do that, back part we will need to use. Okay. So for the hem, I can just trace outside of the pants line. Same as one side. And then I will need to use, because it's wool fabric, it's a little thick, so you will need to press really hard. Yes, it traced. And then okay, and then I will trace this. Now, so trace for this closure. And then again, you will need to trace this seam. Not the outline, but the seam. Okay, so this is your okay. So I got okay. So I trace front piece here, so I will, and then I will trace the back. Again, you will need to trace this side, and then you will need to mirror to the other side. But unlike you did for shirts, you cannot really make these lines straight, without folding here. So we will trace as it is, but make sure you will follow this line once you mirror the other side. Okay. So make sure you can make these, stitches that you made to make a guideline visible, almost like visible. Then there is a lot of pieces going on underneath. It's maybe really hard to using tracing it. So when it's like the case, I will actually fold, trace to this part later on. Okay. And then for my pants, I think for most of the time it is true that you have the dart in the back because of the hip line. So I will actually start with the tracing inside of my leg line. And then actually line here is going to be modified later on to reflect this dart intake. But I'm just gonna trace now as it is. Okay. Then we use tracing wheel. And then because there are so many pieces, underneath. Let's see whether I can go through. If I cannot, I will actually fold the pieces later to make the trace. Yeah, I could not really. So, oh, actually, some lines are traced. So, I will need to make sure deeply trace. No. Then let's do this way. Okay. So because we traced all other lines, you know, I was able to trace this much. Okay. So I will bring this line and then match the other line here to trace. And then for this line, I could not trace this line, but because I got this line match and then this line trace, I could now connect this one. Okay. So after I kind of finished the outline, here, then what you will need to do is measure the dart location. Okay. So my dart is from, actually you need to measure from here, center, and then it's on the fourth of a inch, no, 4 inches from the center line. So my dart is actually placed on here, and then my dart is about 10 inches. And I cannot really see inside of the pant to measure this starting tag, but when you press, actually you will see the overlap parts. So I'm measuring it. It is 3/8. So combining is 3/4 of darts. So 3/8 here, 3/8 here, and you will need dart here, which means you will need to expand here 3/4, you know, because it's 2 of 3/8 to make 3/4, and then we'll need to make modification of your side line here. Okay. So I got my 5-line trace. And then this is your back piece. Now, so when we do the shirt, we talk about some pieces you just need to measure and create. This waistband is actually you don't need to really trace because it's not really high waist or it's not really low waist, which involved a lot of curve here. But if your pants is either high waist or low waist, which involved with the curved waistband, then you may need to trace. So if that is the case, then I will actually fold, okay, and then mark on the side seam, okay, side seam, and then you can trace back piece first, and then after you trace your front piece. I forgot to add it here. I'm sorry. We are not done yet of your back pieces. That's why it looks so slim. So actually, I need to connect this piece before we move on to the waistband piece. Okay, so I'm following these stitches of this line here. Okay, and then I will copy this, and then so now I expand this by mirroring piece to the other side. So my back piece is actually should be a lot bigger than your front piece. So that's kind of very typical for the wool, especially when you have a bell bottom, pants. And then waistband. Let's go back to the waistband. And again, so for my case, actually I can measure and then make a rectangular piece as a waistband. Or if your pants is a really high waist pants or low waist pants, it's involved with a curved side line, then you can, put the marking. here. And then you can do either rubbing off or tracing this to get your waistband. And then this is just you can create by just measuring it. And then this wetted pocket you will actually need to just create, you know, by measuring it. So you don't really need to tracing it. So let's do mark for the pocket. So my pocket is about 4 3/4.